Hello, friends, and welcome to the Lewis Cooper Experience podcast experience, episode 3, Dry Glazer. Um, I'm recording this on the 6th of October, and it should be uploaded in a few days, but hopefully everything I say is still current. I'm hoping it is. I hope you're all well. Let's get straight down to it. So we've got a normal thing this week: movie of the week, comic of the week, action figure of the week, and then news roundup. That's 4 things. So movie of the week is 1997's Copland, which I watched a couple of days ago. The James Mangold movie, starring Sylvester Stallone, Rob De Niro, Harvey Keitel, and Ray Liotta. Or Ray Liotta. I don't know how to say it. Liotta sounds better, doesn't it? This is a movie that's been on my list for ages to watch, and I like James Mangold. He most recently did Le Mans '66, or Ford versus Ferrari, as it was called for some reason in some countries. And he did the film Logan, the Wolverine movie, which I absolutely love. So I'm a big James Mangold fan. He's done a lot more than that, obviously. But so this is one I've meant to watch for a long time, and I noticed it was on ITV, one of the ITV channels, last week. So I looked it up on the ITV hub, and it was on there, which is cool. So I watched it. I really liked it. It's quite a gritty sort of cop drama, obviously from the title Copland. Stallone's the main, the lead, and I really like Stallone. I'm a big Stallone guy. I like him when he does things that are a bit more down to earth. I love, I'm a big fan of the Rocky films, but I like them mainly because of the way he plays Rocky, kind of thing. I'm not so big a Rambo guy, but it is what it is, and I enjoy a few of his other films and that, but I like it when he's really serious Stallone, and he really shows how good an actor he is, because he is really good. When he plays Rocky, I mean, I know it's basically him, but he is spot on. Oscar-nominated actor. People sell Stallone short, but there's a reason he is who he is. This is a good role for him. He plays a guy who's kind of, because he's a local sheriff and he wants to be a New York City cop, but he couldn't do it because he's deaf in one ear, which you find out why that is during the course of the film. And it's just him kind of going around doing his normal thing and just kind of looking after the town in New Jersey. And there's a lot of corruption in the town, a lot of cops who are New York cops, but they live in this town because they basically run it, kind of thing. And De Niro's like the internal affairs guy who wants to root all this out, and Keitel's kind of the leader of the group. And he's Harvey Keitel. He's doing not too far out of his typical sort of role, but that's never a bad thing. The supporting cast is really good as well. It's one of those films where I kept going, oh, that's that person, that's that person. Robert Patrick's in it as well as one of the supporting characters, and he's great. Michael Rappaport, and the rest of the supporting cast is the supporting cast of The Sopranos. Because this came out a couple of years before The Sopranos was a thing, but I feel like the casting people from The Sopranos watched this and went, yeah, we'll have all of them. Like, it's literally some of the main cast is probably like Edie Falco, like Carmela, she's in it. But yeah, so it's a bit of a slow burner. It's not particularly long. It's about an hour and 40 minutes, I think, which is perfect for it. I think it doesn't really kind of get into any action towards sort of near the end, which is great. It really earns it in a way, kind of thing. But yeah, I really liked it. I would recommend it if you like your kind of gritty cop dramas with a little bit of heart to them, kind of thing. But yeah, good stuff. So moving on to comic of the week. Now, comic of the week this week is Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. This is the 30th anniversary edition of Volume 6. And I don't want to overstate this, but in my opinion, Neil Gaiman's run on The Sandman from the 80s and 90s is some of the greatest the greatest art that's ever been created by a human. So I don't want to oversell it, but it is just beautiful. I read it when I was a kid, most of it anyway. Like a teenager, because I picked up the odd volume at my local library and a couple of the libraries in the area, and I didn't know really what it was. I just got some, well, not bought, borrowed some random comics from the library during that time. That's when I first read like Watchmen, not knowing what Watchmen was, and then it's Watchmen. And it just, even as a kid, like, my tastes weren't quite as refined as they are now, I guess you could say, but it's just beautiful. It's brilliant. If you've never read The Sandman, to give you a very brief summary, the main character is the Sandman himself, Morpheus Dream. He's got multiple names, but he's part of these gods who well, it's hard to say, but they all kind of have different realms. So he's the god of dreams, and then his brothers and sisters are. See if I can remember off the top of my head. So it's dream, death, destiny, desire, delirium, destruction, and despair. Yes, got them all. And they all kind of had like it's a wide scope. They have little competitions with each other. Some stories. Dream, the Sandman isn't even in them really. He pops up at the end, and it's just characters in his world. Some are really true to life. Some are just out there. Like I've only read the first issue of this one so far. Like I said, I'm collecting them all again. I've got a few volumes, but I'm collecting all the 30th anniversary ones. It started with a little like Vertigo preview thing, which I don't remember reading before. But if you can see, this is on DC Black Label. I don't know if the previous volumes of this one were, but that's their new kind of adult thing that used to be kind of Vertigo, etc., etc. But yeah, so this is kind of it's a reprint, but this starts with the. I mean, I'll show you some of the artwork because they go through different artists, but it all has kind of the same sort of vibe and that. So it's. Let me just take my bookmark out because then I can show you a bit better. So I'll show you the first story that I've read. Let me find a good example of the artwork. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty crazy stuff there. There's a cool looking character there. Yeah, it's kind of that's. Actually, I won't show that page because that'll be a spoiler for the end of it. But yeah, it's you can tell kind of the style and that sort of thing there. The first story was like this. This one's in a really weird order because it's the issues it's reprinting aren't in a particular order. Like sometimes the volumes are all one story and sometimes they're random ones. Like, so this reprints Sandman issue 31, 29, 38, 30, 39, which really messes with my OCD, but they're connected, like not connected stories, so it works well. The first story is about Dream and Despair having a competition over a mortal man, and they just kind of influence him in their own way. And Dream makes him believe that he's the emperor of America, and it's just a story about this guy who everyone just thinks is crazy. But it's good. But yeah, the Sandman. If you've never read the Sandman, it is perfection. Action figure of the week. Oh, this is one of my absolute favourites, one of the most expensive ones I've got as well. It is, let me get the name right. No, it's not on there. It is the NECA T800 Tech Noir Terminator. Let me move that close to the camera there. I know it's a bit blurred. Doesn't really make out the detail as well, but it is super cool. It's the scene where he goes into the nightclub in the film. So I've got him, so he's holding the pistol there with the sight on it. If you can see on his face there, he's got, if you see his hair and then his eyebrows there, he has two alternate heads. This one is, I didn't realise this after the explosion. I know you can't really see that, but after the explosion, he hasn't got any eyebrows and his hair is like different. It's kind of singed back a little bit. I never noticed that in the film. Like I always thought he looked weird, but like after the explosion, he hasn't got any eyebrows left. There's another head that comes with the eye missing. The head's easy just to pop off and put back on again. And then you've got the arm as well, which you can remove. Has the little bit where he's kind of fixing his arm there. It does come with the little scissors, but I haven't taken them out of that because I know I'll just lose them. Couple of other guns as well. The shotgun, which is cool, and the Uzi 9mm as well. The jacket doesn't come off, but you know you can see it's the clothes that he stole from Bill Paxton and the other punks at the start. Yeah, so that part of the arm comes off, and there's supposed to be he's supposed to be able to change the hand, but for the life of me, I cannot get that hand off. I don't know if I've just got one that's stuck or what. But you know, I don't want to force it because I don't want to break it. The head comes off pretty easily though. So yeah, that's a super cool figure. It comes in a really nice box as well, like all NECA ones do, with the which you know is very similar. Well, it's the same as my poster up there. They open up. There's a cool picture. It's fair you can see that better. You can see the figure. So they're nice display pieces, even if you don't take them out of the box, which obviously I do. And on the back there's some photos of it in different poses and that sort of thing, which is cool. The only problem with this is they spelt the word unstoppable wrong on the box, which really annoys me. I hate spelling errors, and I noticed them immediately, so that does bug me a bit, but it's still a cool box. Finally, our news roundup. I like to keep it positive on here, but the sad news is the James Bond film No Time to Die got put back until 2021, which I completely understand, but it does mean that Cineworld have closed all their screens until next year because without any big films, they're not going to get any money. So it's a shame. I haven't been going because of what's going on at the moment. If you're watching this in the future, there's a bit of a pandemic on, but I won't go into that too much. Um, but yeah, it's just sad. But if it's for the best, it's for the best. Yeah. Also, the trailer for Ryan Reynolds' movie Free Guy came out, which looks pretty cool. He's a character in a computer game, and it looks like a fun little movie. Taika Waititi's in it as well. Um, but it's annoying because you can't really get excited about films at the moment. Like when it says coming to cinemas, especially if it's like a Netflix movie, like great, give it to me. But when it's like comes to cinemas, you go, is it? When will that be? Am I ever going to see it? Um, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But that's it's still nice to see things are still happening. But yeah, and finally, the most confusing piece of news this week, which I've avoided talking to anyone about because I didn't believe it, but it seems to be a thing, is that Jamie Foxx is reprising his role as Electro in the third Marvel or MCU slash Sony Spider-Man movie, which is very confusing because he was Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is nothing to do with these movies at all. But it does lend further credence to the theory, if that's the right word, that they're going to do like a multiverse thing, which is the big popular thing at the moment. Everything is multiverses in comics now, and it looks like DC are definitely doing it with their upcoming Flash movie as well. But I mean, Amazing Spider-Man movies, I'm fine with. Like I saw them at the cinema, and I haven't watched them since. They're okay. Like I don't have any strong feelings. But I'm a big Spider-Man guy, but they're just fine. I don't really remember Jamie Foxx as Electro that much. I just I know that he was, and I love Jamie Foxx. Don't get me wrong, he is one of the best actors going, I believe. Like Ray, Dreamgirls, Collateral, like just Baby Driver, even like Horrible Bosses and that. Like he's fantastic and so varied. And Just Mercy that he did this year as well, which I think was quite sadly ignored in the awards season. But Just Mercy is a good film. I recommend that. It's just come on Sky Movies, I think. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to play in, whether he is going to be the same Electro from that movie. If they do want to bring people in from past Marvel movies, it's a very odd choice. But I mean, it's Jamie Foxx in a Marvel movie, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, I mean, like I say, if we ever see that movie, who knows? But yeah. Anyway, that's going to round it up for this week. Check out my other videos. I've got my 2000 AD weekly review. I've got a couple of movie reviews on there as well. My top 5 Leonardo DiCaprio performances, which I mentioned last week, should finally be up. I've had a nightmare editing it. And also, I've made a short film called The Cliff, which will be up by the time you've read this. I'm going to upload that tonight, which is in the past when you're watching this. So please do check that out. I'm quite pleased with it, and it's only a couple of minutes long. But yeah, that will definitely be there. So yeah, check out my other stuff. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, and please subscribe. And I will see you very, very soon. Thank you very much.